And I told you that Jada was addicted to. So how Jada would watch at the houses, she had her laptop, she would stick to, have her drive-in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV.
If you expect to be with somebody forever, ever, it's like, let's get real with it from the gate, you know?
Will Smith just dropped a shocking truth and no one saw coming. After years of messy rumors and endless cheating talk, it seems karma finally pulled up on Jada. Reports say there's now a federal investigation tied to her name, plus a wild $3 million lawsuit claiming she threatened to take someone's life. This time, it's looking real bad for her, like she might not slip out of this one so easily.
Being around Will for 38 years and Jada almost 3 decades, I saw a lot of things that I believe to be criminal.
In this video, we're digging deep into everything Jada's been mixed up in, from the scandals that rocked Hollywood to the names of the people now stepping forward against her. It's all coming out. For years, Jada's been exposing herself without even realizing it, from her old-school street hustles to the non-stop cheating drama with Will, and now these shocking threats. The story's getting darker by the day.
You've opened up and talked about back in your early days when you were younger. You said that you were a drug dealer, and you said you just decided that this one little piece was important to share. Had one at that. Yeah. You aren't even a good drug dealer. It wasn't a good one. Oh, no. But you said it was finally time to share. So why was now the time? Well, I felt like there had been, and still is, a lot of missing pieces to my relationship with Tupac, and I know that there's a lot of intrigue around.
Jada's past has been anything but quiet. It's been straight up explosive. She's built a whole reputation for embarrassing Will in front of the entire world, and a tell-all memoir is living proof of it. Back in 2023, Jada dropped what she called a no-holds-barred book, spilling all kinds of private details that had everyone talking.
It's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
In that memoir, she boldly admitted to cheating on Will several times, and the wild part, Will actually confronted her about it, right there on the Red Table Talk set.
I was going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided...
I was done with your man.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
Done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
But instead of owning up, Jada flipped the script and put the blame on him. The nerve of that move had everyone stunned. Just like she promised, Jada Pinkett Smith brought herself to the red table, but what no one expected was Will sitting right there beside her.
The only person that can give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission, because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a...
The two dove into a deep talk about pain, healing, and yes, that infamous entanglement with August Alsina. The tension was real, and the world couldn't look away. Not too long before that, August had gone public, revealing that he was actually in a relationship with Jada while she was still married to Will.
I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation. Due to the transformation from their marriage to life partnership that they've spoken on several times, and it, not involving romanticism, he gave me his blessing. And I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really, really deeply loved and have a ton of love for her. I devoted myself to it. I gave my full self to it. So much so to the point that I can die right now and be okay with knowing that I truly gave myself to somebody.
His confession shook social media to the core, especially since official statements at the time tried to deny everything. But now, Jada herself has stepped forward, not reluctantly either, finally confirming that the relationship really did happen. What a twist. Now you might be wondering, out of everyone, why August? Well, Jada had her own explanation for that, and it definitely raised some eyebrows. Eventually, things fizzled out between them, and August decided to walk away. Since then, the two haven't really spoken, and according to the Smiths, their marriage supposedly came out of all this stronger than ever. But that's not where the story ends, not even close. Here's where it really gets wild. For years, people whispered that Will and Jada had an open marriage, but both of them later shut those rumors down, saying that wasn't true at all. Turns out, the reality was way more complicated. Jada was the only one actually seeing other men. She tried to label it a transparent marriage, but let's be real, it sounded a lot like she was rewriting the rules, while Will was left trying to keep the peace. But get this, every single time Jada cheated, she'd actually tell Will about it. Can you imagine that conversation? No wonder everyone's confused about what's really going on between them. At this point, people were saying that even an open marriage would make more sense than whatever this situation was. When Jada's confessions hit the internet, the streets went crazy. Social media lit up with jokes, memes, and pure disbelief. One person even wrote, "They both do my head in," constantly gaslighting the public into thinking their humiliation and betrayal of each other isn't actually humiliating and betraying each other. What an exhausting family of insular people. That comment went viral fast. And the craziest part, folks in Hollywood weren't even shocked. Word was, everyone in the industry already knew what kind of arrangement Will and Jada had, and exactly who they were getting involved with.
But yes, it was
transparent. You say it's a transparent relationship. And what do you mean by that?
so transparent, meaning, look, I wasn't gonna fool myself into thinking that we as 20-some-year-olds, babies, mind you, getting married and living in Tinseltown, spending a lot of time apart, okay, that we weren't going to run into temptation situations.
The story takes a much darker twist once you peek inside what was really happening in the Smith household. Word is, Jada had men coming over all the time, and the whole situation sounded far from the kind of environment any kid should be growing up in. That's part of the reason people started whispering about Jaden and Willow wanting to get emancipated, just to get out of that chaos. To really understand how wild things allegedly got, Will Smith's longtime friend Bilal Smith once gave an interview spilling what he witnessed firsthand, and what he described shocked everyone.
And people on off. And I told you that Jada was addicted to. So how Jada would watch at the houses, she had her laptop, she would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV, and she could play whatever video she watching. So now, I'm seeing videos of her and Will and a bunch of others, some celebrities, everything. Because remember, the last interview I told you, if you don't sue me, I'm going to let people know who you've been hitting with them dildos. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember. Your wino's going to remember it. And I said, if you don't sue, I'm going to sue. So I told you, being Muslim, whatever I say I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do, period. And I got to have evidence. So we not playing. That's why they didn't sue. So back to this with all these, this self-homemade was on it or whatever.
According to him, Jada was watching adult videos right in the middle of the house while Jaden and Willow were there. That detail alone had people stunned and disturbed. And honestly, some fans say the signs were all along. Jaden often seemed uneasy around Will during public appearances, and eventually he walked away from the entertainment industry completely, leaving everyone wondering what really pushed him to that decision.
Uncle Will, you know, who is best to give you advice? And it's Will Smith, and I'm getting so much good advice. I got my first acting role, Empire, and it's changing my life. And it's like, I'm listening from the greatest, and it's like making me well prepared to work with Taraji.
The Bilal didn't stop there. Things got even messier from his side of the story. Allegedly, while Jada was out here embarrassing Will on national TV, Will himself was getting tangled up in his own drama. Rumor has it he was getting involved with other men, and one of those names floating around was Bryce Gray, the actor from Empire, who later turned to work in adult entertainment. Will had publicly said he was mentoring Bryce, but according to Bilal, that mentorship might have meant something totally different. The claims had people's jaws on the floor.
There's a, there's a distance in terms of affection shown between the general and his son. Absolutely. Is it like that at home or no?
Nah,
really.
We're very affectionate.
But have you ever,
We're very affectionate.
He tried to kiss me in the
have you ever kissed your son on Thai television before?
You're not looking to kiss
Can
my
you kiss
son.
your on Thai
I
television?
can kiss my son. Jaden, come on.
Are you okay?
Oh my God.
Bilal went all in and spilled everything he knew, and once Jada caught wind of it, she was furious. She fired back during an interview on The Breakfast Club, calling Bilal a flat-out liar and threatening to sue him for defamation. The tension was off the charts.
And let me just say this. It's ridiculous, right? And it's nonsense. And this is a person that tried a shakedown, a money shakedown that didn't work. We're going to take legal action. Because it's one thing to have your opinion about somebody versus just making up salacious, malicious stories.
But here's what things take an interesting turn. Even after all that talk, Bilal never got hit with a cease and desist order, and no defamation lawsuit ever showed up. Makes you wonder, right? Why didn't they take legal action if it was all fake? Well, Bilal had his own answer for that, and what he said next left people speechless. Looks like Jada might have been bluffing when she said she was going to sue brother Bilal, but Bilal definitely wasn't playing around. He flipped the script and came back swinging with a $3 million lawsuit of his own, accusing Jada of lying about him and dragging his name through the mud. Things just got real.
Jada responded to the first global interview that I did with you.
That was a global.
Yes, it went all over.
It was in Arabic.
It's in the everywhere. I talked for 2 hours.
Okay.
And I said some pretty, what some people may think to be outrageous things, but I knew them to be true and had the evidence to show that it was true. That's when Jada responded out of anger, not out of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because for her to be a global iconic superstar, you rushed to the Breakfast Club to say, number one, that, I extorted you. There was a money shakedown. You said you didn't have all the facts. So that puts you in legal jeopardy right now. You said all the facts will come out. None of the facts came out. Now you, Will, and yourself are in legal jeopardy. Her lawyer sends me a cease and desist letter, which I had to report him to the bar, Kenneth B. Hurt, because he said I never knew Will, that I never worked for Will, and that he said he represented Willard Harold Smith, which is Will's real name, but he was asking me to take down statements from Jada.
Now it's Jada's turn to prove in court that Bilal made it all up. But here's the scary part. Bilal claims to have videotapes that could expose everything. If even one of those tapes turns out to be real, both Will and Jada could be in serious trouble. The tension around this case is through the roof. And the wildest twist yet? Word is Jada was ready to go to extreme lengths to shut Bilal down. She allegedly tried to threaten him and even sent people his way to keep him quiet. That's not just drama, that's straight up dangerous. It's wild how all this chaos is going down right when Diddy himself is facing time behind bars. The timing couldn't be crazier. Back in the early 2000s, Jada and Will were allegedly mixed up with Diddy too. But here's the twist. Even Diddy reportedly wanted nothing to do with Jada after what went down. Rumor has it, Jada and Will tried to talk Diddy's then-girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez, into having a threesome with him. The story spread fast and people couldn't believe it. That's supposedly the moment Diddy decided to back off completely and distance himself from the pair. Like seriously, can you imagine being so bold that even Diddy, who's been caught up in his own wild controversies, decided he didn't want any part of it? That says a lot. Now here's where things get even more explosive. Rumors are flying that Will might actually be on one of the secret tapes Diddy recorded, and that lines up perfectly with what brother Bilal had been saying all along. The connections are starting to make way too much sense. According to insiders, just like Diddy, both Jada and Will were allegedly filming everything that went down behind closed doors. The thought of that alone has everyone's head spinning, especially since those tapes could expose way more than anyone's ready to see. The streets are buzzing, and people can't stop talking about what could be on those recordings. And now, the latest twist in this never-ending saga has everyone stunned. Word on the street is that someone out there might be trying to leak those rumored tapes, and it's got Will and Jada on edge like never before. Sources close to the couple say their team is scrambling to keep everything locked down, terrified that one wrong move could blow their whole image apart. People online are already speculating about who could be behind it, some pointing fingers at old friends turned enemies, others saying this might be payback for years of hidden secrets. Whatever's really going on, the tension is sky high and fans are waiting to see if this scandal is about to explode into something even bigger. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over.
At a birthday party that I think either Matt Damon was giving for Ben Affleck, it was just a little gathering. It was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband, we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada, that was sitting on the other side of the room. So I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and like did his own some kind of way, like, and then he was like this, you know, like I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, "Yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close, because I'm going to snuff him." I said, "What's that? Will Smith will beat the shit out you." No, Puff is crap now. But I don't think he could beat Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Well, he can scrap. You know what I'm saying? So then he said that. So I didn't go back over there where Will Smith's sister and her husband was. I stayed like in the, like about, if he snuffed Will, I could move slow enough that Will could probably get 2 or 3 punches back in.
Between the lawsuits, the threats, the mysterious tapes, and now the feds supposedly closing in, it's all catching up fast. The perfect image that Will and Jada spent decades building is finally starting to crumble right in front of everyone's eyes. What once looked like just another messy Hollywood marriage is now looking way darker, with real people hurt, real fallout, and possibly real legal trouble on the horizon. This is no longer about gossip. This is about accountability. What do you think is really going on behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I want to know what you believe. Smash that like button if this breakdown opened your eyes. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next wild update in this ongoing Hollywood storm.